Hey guys, how's it going? December 5th, 2020. And, oh, you're wondering what that squeaky sound? That's just my recliner when I go to put the keyboard down after I set everything up. Um, so, I mentioned a couple days ago about New Year's resolutions and all this other stuff. And I think somewhere I said, I, I think I've never really been one for New Year's resolutions. I mean, it came to me because okay, it's December, New Year, new start, all this other crap. But it's just a number. It really doesn't. It doesn't really matter um, that much. I don't think. What I think matters more is I'm trying. First of all, as far as what I do, what I like to do, I've got plenty of things I like to do. So I haven't lost any of that. In fact, there's some things I like to do that I just haven't got around to doing. What I find I'm doing more of is things that I really don't care about doing, and the amount of effort or the amount of um, the cost or effort, time, money, or whatever. It's not so much money, but time invested into something really doesn't pay off. I don't think personally. I love sharing everything. I love, being able to. Now, mind you, this is on my desktop. I I haven't even put on the last night's and today's flights, which were pretty good. Some better than others. No big deal because it's kind of funny because I was in the middle of, I think I took two or three takes of audio doing something like this. And the first time I did it and something went wrong, or it stopped soon or whatever. So I did it again. And I was going to do it a third time, but I just said, forget it. I ain't going to bother with it. And I mean, I could have uploaded as is. It wouldn't have mattered really, anyways. But I decided, nah, I'm not going to worry about it. And I was realizing then that it was time while my batteries were charging as usual. Um, and I just decided, no, I'm not going to worry about it. So last night I went up to, what did I do? I went out to Aldershot in Hamilton. I recorded some audio of footage. I really didn't like how it was very difficult for me to find my bearings as far as the lighting goes. You couldn't see much of anything. I mean, there was a few good shots in there that I'll probably be able to stretch out if I want to take the time. As far as memorable screenshots or anything like that, I wouldn't say I have anything memorable. Um, it was okay. I enjoyed the flight. I was a little cold, but um, I enjoyed the Hamilton going from the harbor. That was more fun. So definitely going to get some screenshots of that at some point. I'd love to share it on YouTube, but I don't know if I will. And this is where I'm starting to get to this whole, well, am I going to wait till New Year's? Am I going to do it now? What am I doing? So I also went out today, and I was able to get into I was able to get into to back into feeder, and it was the first time I was able to get in there. I got to see the CN interchange. It was really cool for me. Now, for me, it's really cool, and maybe for a few other people, it might be pretty cool. But for the average person, nobody cares. I was first recommended a the Mavic Mini. I was recommended by two people, uh, Tony out west and Walter in Southwest Ontario. Tony, I've never met. Obviously, he's out from Western Canada. I saw I don't know how the hell I ever got his videos come up on my suggested. but for some reason, this guy has got less subscribers than me, and yet his videos and the amount of work he puts into them is just absolutely amazing. The editing that goes into it, it's really professional looking, and as far as I know, it's done with a Mavic Mini and two other stationary, at least two other stationary cameras. And he uses the soundtrack from those stationary cameras, embeds it as his soundtrack. He also adds music in and out where appropriate, but generally gets the sound of the engines, and then when he flies up a little bit higher, he tends to go back to the music and get rid of the ground sounds, which makes more sense. The higher you fly, I mean, it's kind of weird listening to a train that's down on the ground when you're flying much higher, right? But then he gets the panoramic shots of the prairies and the foothills out in Edmonton or whatever. So it's really really long shots like this, except even more scenic than what you would see here, like going off, and you get the fall colors and all this other stuff. So yeah, and he had the fall colors too. So it must have been stuff that he put in the can. Probably, I would say, I don't know what the fall season is out there, but I mean we had our leaves fall uh, probably within the last at least about a month ago. So you're seeing all these bare trees all over the place. But out west, I would imagine that it happened a lot sooner. So he's probably had it in the can for some time, doing the editing and all that other stuff for it. But he just released it. It was kind of interesting to see it. But so I see that he gets about, I don't know how many views he gets on per video, but I would probably say it's kind of strange because he averages about what appears to me over the course of time he would average about 40 to 50 views, which I think is um, deserves to be much higher personally, because I think his quality is way up there. Subscribers is definitely, he deserves to have more subscribers, but it is the way it is. Um, how long has he been doing it, etc.? What's his base? You name it. I was fortunate enough to build a base and a following with Run 8. And with that, probably the majority of my subscribers who never unsubscribed are still there. Um, I subscribe to a lot of people too that I don't even know who the hell I'm subscribing to. So it's very natural to subscribe to somebody on YouTube and not unsubscribe to them. You don't have notifications on and subscribe to somebody. It just means that they're on your list of people that you watch. Some people subscribe to someone and don't even bother with YouTube, and they just happen to be on their subscribe list for the longest time. So um, yeah, it doesn't really matter. Um, but yeah, earlier today, while I was in the middle of charging batteries, and I just wanted to get back out there. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. I mean, this time of year is a little weird. It's dark early, and I kind of I kind of want to get back to where for daylight say it's kind of ironic because around daylight savings time came in at around the same time that I got the drone or something like that, and I never really got a chance to take advantage of it. Nor did I get a chance to take advantage of I got it in the fall, so that's something that I'm just itching. I still have the itch to go back out there. I've got a lot of flying time ready tomorrow. Now, what happens is I have three batteries that basically get ready to go, and unfortunately, my cell phone doesn't last that long. I'm lucky to get two and a half flights out of it, but that gives me over an hour of flight, so take advantage of it. And if I fly at night, The bonus is if I fly at night, I can actually um, I can record longer without it splitting the video, which really doesn't matter if I'm not going to bother with YouTube. But the other thing is because the data size is longer because there's not as much pixels to process. It also what does it do? The number of pixels is one thing, but what was I getting at? There's two benefits to it: the number of pixels and the file size uh, is not as long. I know I was getting to somewhere. I was getting to a point. Flying time? That's what I kind of said. I know there is. I've lost my train of thought. Anyways, there's a benefit to it. Oh yeah, battery. The battery on the phone, because of the brightness, doesn't use the battery on the phone as much. So you can actually get 3 flights at night. So I flew last night in Hamilton. We were gonna go out tonight, and I decided not to. Um, it is what it is. Tomorrow the wind's going to be a little bit down, but the temperature is also going to be down a tiny bit more. I think we're going to -2, maybe -1 or 0 over a high tomorrow, but it's going to be rather cool. So yeah, I didn't get any memorable shots like last weekend, which is okay. I got some pretty cool shots though. Just to get to feeder was really neat because I haven't been able to get back in there since they basically locked it up where you can't get back in there. You used to be able to get back in there to watch during the day, but uh, it was really a nice perspective to see CN do their interchange at feeder because there's no road access, there's no uh, so to be able to get in there and have my flight 700 meters it starts I start losing reception. The winds were a little bit high today. It was okay, but the flying's going good. I'm looking forward to tomorrow again, and yeah, I probably will go out tomorrow night as well. Give it a shot. I got nothing better to do, and I enjoy flying, so I'll probably go out tomorrow night as well. So, shaved my beard earlier today. I was trying to grow one. I was like, get this. But as long as I took to try to grow it, I took it off. But anyways, I'm looking possibly. Let me just grab a drink real quick here. Throat is running dry. Hey guys, it's, I like how I get the subscriber or the views like live streams. I think that blows my mind sometimes. Just give me a second. Just need a drink of water because my throat is going. So yeah, the interaction. Being able to interact with you guys, I really that's something I don't want to give up too easy. So I'm trying to find out what the best way to do this is. And what it is that people are wanting. Do they want to hear me blab all the time? I mean, I know Scott was mentioning, oh, he thought it would be kind of cool if I blabbed in the videos. Well, it's true. It's better than being quiet or having silent videos. Um, it's possible. I think what I may do is I may ultimately put the videos up without sound. Put them on YouTube just because it doesn't take much for me to upload the videos to YouTube. It was taking me a little bit more to go through it and do the audio. I was even trying to explain it. But what happens generally is once I have a video up on YouTube and I've done my screenshots, which I haven't done any screenshots, I'd like to put screenshots for my computer here, my computer at work. Once I've done that, I really never watch those videos again. Because I tend to live, and I was saying this on Train Sim Forum tonight, and I can tell I'm the minority on that forum. It's the closest thing I have to an interactive community, which is, I mean, I can go over to the Iran forums, but I can't get into it. There's so many people and so much stuff going over there, and I can't really, talk about Run 8. It's like I can't talk about Run 8 over there. There's good things to talk about over there, such as trains. I mean, I could talk to trains. I can talk to trains all I want over in the train sim forum, and you'll hear the birds chirping. Um, but you go over to the train sim forum, and yeah, there's people who are still enjoying um, Run 8, and I pay attention to that forum because it's an easy forum to digest. It doesn't take much to digest because they're not that busy. It's a fairly tight community. I like communities. So going through that doesn't take as much. So I'm not trying to be an antagonizer. I'm not trying to cause shit, but I know I am. I just know I'm doing it. Every time I do it, I just know. I can tell. I can tell by the replies I get. Oh, you got to have your standards. You got to lower your standards down. No, I don't have to lower my standards down. I can have my standards. Oh, you can't talk about Run 8 anymore. Get over it. No, I don't need to get over it. I'm not bitter about it. But if I want to still talk about Run 8 and what the lack of whatever, here's the thing. You talk about my channel. Run 8 is my base. And they're probably all gone. They don't pay attention. They don't, if I'm bitching and moaning about Run 8, I mean, I got better things to do to go in the past and bitch and moan about Run 8. But if I got nothing better to do, if I'm waiting for my son to come downstairs, and if I, just feel like checking out the forums and somebody's, you know, saying how great things are, it's great that they say how great things are. But anytime they start mentioning about version 3, I laugh and I giggle because people are saying how great it's going to be when version 3 gets here, and how it's like, what? I mean, how great is it going to be when version 3 gets here? I mean, what are they? What are they? Are they? Were they like me when I was looking for version 2, where I would actually check the forum every freaking day? Or sorry, the website. I would check it every day before it was coming out because I was in such anticipation for it. And what happened? It delivered. I don't know what's supposed to be in version 3, other than the only thing I've heard of is drawbridges, which I don't care about. I like drawbridges. I like, heck, I live by a canal. I love drawbridges. I love lift bridges. I don't need it as bad as some other things. Um, Turntables, don't care. Don't have any turntables anywhere near me, so really I don't care. And considering that most of their rosters are diesel, why do they need turntables for? But anyways, they don't even have steam engines, so, and some people want that. A lot of people want all kinds of things. But the biggest thing I've said from the get-go with Run 8, and this is really ultimately what made me change the course of action last year. Everything was getting too big, and the number of people were diminishing. I see these trends. I see these trends all the time. And these trends aren't just happening at the lower end places; they're happening at the higher ends. And yeah, there's still some people that are having fun. More power to you. If you're having fun and you're having multiplayer sessions, great. That's cool. Keep fighting the good fight. Have fun. Enjoy yourselves. I'm not here to poop on your party, and I'm not here to say, poor me. I didn't get my money's worth. I've never said that. I've never also said that Run 8's the best train simulator on the planet. I always say it. They are. But when you say as real as it gets, and this is where I'm going to have my standard much higher every time, I don't need to lower my standards. My standards are high. What I want out of a train simulation, nobody has provided. Trains does a good job. as far as the creation. They don't have the physics. They do a pretty good job as far as the train creation, the player, and what else is there? I'm just trying to think now. Yeah, they have AI, but it's kind of weird with trains is fine. Trains for me is the best thing I have, but I'm not doing it right now. And the reason why, I guess, is one, I'm building my own route and I have high standards and I want to be able to survey with my drone a lot of areas. I want to be able to get in there. I want to be able to get a lot of data. One of the worst things that could probably happen to me was that I had to get Transdem. I just had to get it. I didn't want it at first. I wanted to avoid it at first. I was just like, no, I don't need trans. Everybody say, oh yeah, yeah, you want to get Transdem because it's so awesome and blah blah blah. Yeah, well, so as soon as I got it, well, what happened? I realized I don't have all the proper data because when you get Transdem, it might tell you how the hills look. It's not going to tell you how the railroads look. And your line's going to look like a spaghetti pie. And, it's just, it takes a lot of work. And to get the accuracy down to, especially when you can get it as down to a decimal of a meter, you don't have that accuracy and you can't get it. You're going to have to guess. And you're going to have to hope you have grade charts or with actual percentages and ruling grades and whatever else. You need engineering data to really get it right down. And even if you get it, you're not going to get the physics anyway, so does it really matter? Probably not, but my son is loving trains. He's actually the big trains fan more than I am. He tells me about all the stuff he's doing up in Duluth, Minnesota. He's doing something. He's building a route between Duluth and Minneapolis. I think he said right now. I'm like, well, hey, as long as you're having fun, he downloads crap all the time, and he's having fun because he's got the big imagination. His mind is fresh with ideas, and he's going to try. He's going to start throwing stuff out there and just go for it because he can. And I understand why he's doing that. If I was in his position, I'd be doing the same thing. But for me, it's a little different because now I have a little bit more, obviously, I have more life experience, so that puts me into a different situation where all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, maybe I like doing this more than I like doing this, or maybe I really don't want to be doing this all the time, or maybe I want to do this. I have high standards, and I wish I could lower my standards, especially when it comes to my trains. I wish, if anything, I wish I could lower my standards for that. I wish I could lower my own standards. Because if I did, well, then I would probably be operating at least. And, that'd be kind of cool. And who knows, maybe that would get views or people would be happy on my channels, supposedly, because I'd be doing something, blah, blah, blah. Maybe. I don't know. But, you know, it's one of those things. I'm just shooting time for the end of the night here. I'm gonna call it. Don't get me many comments in the chat these days. I used to get them all the time, but apparently I don't get them these days. But that's okay. Um, so I'm thinking about trying to do something. I'm thinking that probably one of the best things that I could possibly do to try and form some type of community. I'm not too sure. I'm trying. Originally, I was gonna go the route. There's a couple routes I was gonna go. I thought they used to have rail videos. I know they have rail pictures. I was thinking of joining up rail pictures and trying to get some good shots of some of these drone images and post them. And see what that what kind of uh, what people think of them or whatever the hell it is or whatever. It's not so much what people think of them. It's the value of putting something up. So knowing if you're putting it up and people like it, it's not so much instant gratification as it is just knowing that, hey, there's something that people might like. So it was worth your time putting it up. Like, say, for example, putting a picture from a drone image that's looking above at a lock like this, I think, for me, are special. Unfortunately, I didn't get very good imagery last night at Aldershot, even though at least one train was going by. I could not get in the right spot at the right time. It actually got there while I was in the process of ascending. I was quite surprised he was coming in. I was just like, what the hell? I didn't expect him to be there so soon, but I didn't have my ATCS with me, and well, it wouldn't have mattered anyway. They don't get ATCS down in Aldershot, but I didn't know where he was. So that's what happens. Uh, and then I went over to Hamilton, which of course there's no traffic. There was a switcher that went out, but again, I just missed him. Today we were able to get the two transfers. I was able to get a CP coming into Welland Yard. That was kind of cool. Um, so that was fun. Um, so I didn't get too much today, but again, it's a little weird. Unless you get out early, it's hard to get the flights. I ideally I'd like to go for two sets of flights. So you start the day early enough. You use your three batteries. You come back, charge things up, and then go out again. So I might be doing that tomorrow, but I might do it tomorrow night. I might see if Paul wants to go out tomorrow night again, since he's trying to do me favors. I think I need to talk with him anyways about some of my ideas. Now he's willing to do things on his website for me, but he wants me to kind of, well, this is basically all I want him to do is just throw it up there. Throw up the list of throw up my list of YouTube videos. Throw up, if it gets exposure and then it's worth it, then it's worth me doing it. If it doesn't, it's not worth it. That's kind of why I was kind of waiting, but then I was like, why wait till the new year? Why don't I just back off? So I'll talk to him tomorrow night and see. Half the time, anyways. But I'll see what he's thinking, and then I could do trains. I could do other things. I could go. Quite frankly, I could possibly try to find a spot in Burlington tomorrow. I could even go down to Burlington West, maybe. It's a possibility. Never thought of that. Hmm. I'll have to think about that. Yeah. It beats Niagara is horrible at night around. Well, I shouldn't say it's horrible. It's hit and miss. Sometimes you get lucky and you get the trains going through. Other times it's just like, no, forget it. But I'll see. I always have to keep an eye on the trains tomorrow night. Get back early enough during the day tomorrow and see what happens. But no, I was thinking of doing a blog or something instead of the YouTube. Um, it might be easier for me to just have a blog where people can go to. If they go there, great. If they don't, they don't. And, just be able to, post links to whatever the hell's going on. I can post some YouTube videos up. I don't mind posting YouTube videos up to YouTube. But to put any type of audio or to go through it and do anything with it at this point, it's getting ridiculous. Basically, I can upload stuff during the day, and that's fine and all. It's not that difficult to get a video up. All you have to do is change the title around a bit, do a few other things with it, twerk it. Um, it's not that big of a deal. So it doesn't take too much effort. The idea of getting it onto YouTube is is more as a cloud backup for me. That's really all it is, and being able to access it from work. So that helps and allows me. Then I can work on it during the week or whatever if I want to. Sometimes when I'm at work, I get a little bored, because I get a 1 hour lunch, and if I'm not out snowy or whatever, and I don't feel like going for a walk, then I just usually do things on the computer. So, but anyways, I'm gonna do it. That's enough of my babbling for tonight and stuff like that. So, check the chat one more time. But we'll see what happens. Um, I don't know what else. I mean, you guys want me to hang around? I've got a few people saying it. If you want me on YouTube, or if you want me to just post to a blog or something like that, if it's just as easy, then I'd rather do that. Then if I post on a blog, then at least I can make my commentary and not offend other people on forums. I'm worried about offending people. But going on a train sim forum tonight, for example, or earlier to this evening, I'm like, oh, jeez. Somebody was saying something about future. I had to explain it. Then I went on to another topic. I just like a whole other topic. Oh boy, I'm thinking, yeah, I feel like I'm dragging this thing on, and I'm not trying to drag this thing on. And the only reason why I go to that forum is it's not to reminisce about Run 8. It's just to sense a community to see what's happening. If something new is happening in Run 8, sure, I want to know. That's where I'm going to find out. If somebody's having a certain experience in Run 8 or questions about Run 8, I'd be glad to help. I do have that experience still. If somebody's doing something new and they're having fun with Run 8, I like to check it out, see what I'm missing. Um, the reason why I would go to that forum as opposed to the Iran Trains forum is the Iran Trains forum. You literally have to watch it every day. It's that busy. The content, it just constant messages, screenshots, you name it. So for me, what I've done is I've just kind of stayed away from it for now. Let the forum threads build up, go on every now and then when I really have time to go through it, just to catch up. And even if I mean, heck, if I don't want to catch up, I don't have to catch up because I'm not going to miss anything other than screenshots and a few other things. Not going to be that much else, but anyways, I'm losing my voice, so I think I'll end it for now.